mortgage rates soar to their highest level in 21 years. U.S. mortgage rates, a 30-year fix, officially averaged 7.09% in the week ending August 17, up from 6.96 the prior week, according to Freddie Mac. Rising rates have been persistent, exceeding 6.5% since May, and have climbed further since mid-July. The last instance of rates over 7% was in November of the preceding year, and the current average rate is the highest since April of 2002. We're talking pre-Big Short. We're talking pre-Michael Burry saying the real estate market's going to collapse. This is right after 9/11 is what we're talking about. The surge in mortgage rates is affecting home affordability and sales, with the combination of low inventory and higher costs, leading to a 20% drop in home sales compared to the previous year. Despite the strong economic growth, challenges arise from high costs and inflation concerns. Tom.
This is huge. What's huge about it is that this is a national average. This isn't like a regional spike. You know, we've looked up here and we've had Rob go on there and, you know, pull the averages on the Google search, and you can see 8% in certain areas. This is a national average, and the national average has grown now. 7.09% on a national average is bad. That really means that you probably have some areas out there and some types of consumers that are seeing 8.5, 8.25, if they're even choosing to get into that mortgage. Because when you translate the buying power of an 8.5, that's not a whole lot of house, and prices are staying high because the inventory is staying low. This is what we thought was going to happen last year is now happening this year. And remember, the Fed says they may not be done raising interest rates, or maybe another quarter point coming in the fall.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. When do you think it's going to go back down 6%, less than 6%?
I think I'm looking now at end of first quarter next year, because that's when the Fed says that they will be considering. Remember, they have to see line of sight and see that 2% inflation.
Yep.
And then the Fed is talking about like maybe next year, early second quarter, they might give a quarter point back. But they don't want to see wage growth too hot, and they do not want to see inflation above 2%. So we're probably here for the next 9 months, and the Fed's not helping because they're saying, well, you know, in the late autumn, which is right in the middle of the upcoming 6-month window I'm talking about here, we may throw another quarter point at it. We're still not happy that inflation's down. This is bad. And now we have national averages here, and as you pointed out, April 2002, folks, that was a recession ahead, 6 years ahead.
Tom, let me ask you a
financial
question.
Crash.
October 28th of next year, where will rates be? October 28th of 2024, where do you predict rates will be? October 28th, 2024, a week before election, where will rates be?
I think it'll be back down to like a 6 national average, maybe a 5.75.
5.75, October 28th of next year. So you still think it's going to be pretty high, but it's going to be less than 6.
Yeah, and less than the 7.09 that's here, and less than 6. I think the incumbent Biden administration will do everything they freaking can. They're manipulating the job stats. We've talked about this at length. So I think that they're going to do everything they can to encourage the Fed to drop it a little bit.
Yeah, I fully agree. I believe that the current administration will do everything they can to artificially inseminate the economy, especially during an election year. Obviously, they want everything in their favor. Biden doesn't have a ton to run on. His approval ratings are in the low 40s, dropping. We've got 2 leading candidates, Trump and Biden, both in the low 40s national averages. So if you have the power of the purse, and you have Jerome Powell on your side, and you've got Janet Yellen on your side, and you've got, maybe even like the big banks on your side, what have you, you're going to do everything you can to try to artificially make the economy look better, make the stock market look better, make mortgage rates look as good as they can, make gas prices look lower, make everything that's going on in the economy look as good as possible. So you are
so continue
ripe
with
for re-election.
with a nice fake economy, like the way we've been doing for the last 20 years.
And then just to keep in mind with the mortgages, if we kind of zoom out just for everyone's perspective, because a lot of our listeners, especially if you're in your 20s and 30s, you don't remember prior to 2002 when this is the last time that rates were this high, 7%. If you go back to when, literally our parents, let's say, or Tom, maybe you bought your first, what year did you buy your first house? First year?
92.
Okay, so 92. So just to give you guys some context out there, in the 80s, under Reagan's presidency, following your good friend Jimmy Carter, the reason that you're in this country, shout out to Jimmy. I think he's about to be 100, by the way. I want to say that the average rate was somewhere in the 12 to 18% range. I think it maxed out at 18.5%. Think about that. That is a credit card that you're putting a house on. You're putting a mortgage on. That's insane. If you're paying 18% on your credit card, I'd be raising like the red alert, red flag. Do not be paying that much money. That's how much money people were paying for houses
You think
in the
we're gonna
80s.
get back there?
No, hell no.
Okay.
That's unsustainable. Nobody's going to pay that amount of money for a house. At least I wouldn't. But then, as Tom pointedly pointed out, in 1990s, I think at the heels of the Bush administration, when Clinton got elected in 92, it went down to single digits, 9-10%. Then we saw it after 2000. You said it hit 7%. I think you said April of 2002. That's right after 9/11, everything that happened with that. And then we saw what happened with the Obama administration, and everything artificially started heading lower. Do you say ZIRP? Zero
interest rate policy.
Yeah, exactly. So rates were what? 2, 3, 4, 5%, zero in some
Where are you going
ridiculous
with
cases.
this? I'm curious
just
where you're
giving. I'm giving some context that if you think 7% is high, do your research. It's actually somewhat normal over the last 40 years.
Okay, good point. So is your point that we should keep it at 7 point and stay here?
Do I think we should keep as someone that's looking to purchase their first home? Hell no. But I would understand if rates kind of stayed in the 5 to 8% range over the next decade.
I
What do
actually
you think?
we should stay here. I actually think we should stay here for a while.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.